parts of the war down to 9 weeks, but the advanced trainer is what we're seeing here on the takeoff roll. 3 gentlemen from South, they are the TITAN Aerobatic Team. Let's listen. Aircraft they're flying were the advanced trainers flown not only by the United States Army Air Corps, later to become the United States Army Air Forces, but then also the United States Marine Corps and the United States Navy. The Army Air Force called it the AT-6, Advanced Trainer 6. The Navy called it the SNJ, and
from your right, back to Rob Ryder.
Thank you, Danny. Keep your eyes on the noise. 600 horsepower per motor. The smoke, the thrill, the precision, and the passion of the TITAN Aerobatic Team. As they come around for their next maneuver. In the lead is Jimmy Fordham, a guy who flew for a major airline for over 30 years and is now occupying #1. Steve Gustafson on the left wing and a co-founder of the team.
Only want to be free. We hug on close. Hang on to a dream.
These guys have been flying together for over 30 years. Jimmy Fordham started flying when he was 14. His dad taught him to fly. By the time he had cameras on it, and you might even consider that as the smoke comes on, you hold your cameras sideways. Watch as Jimmy and Steve and Brian set up for the TITAN bottom-up pass and downward bomb burst. To the left and to the right, setting up for opposing loops. By the way, that growl you hear on the engines, that's the sound of the propeller tips going supersonic, creating mini sonic booms at about 2,200 revolutions per minute. Now as Brian and Steve exit, #1, Jimmy Fordham comes in with the smoke on. It shows center to set up not for a roundhouse loop, but for a talked earlier about the rejoin. This is a case of airplanes having to use all the geometry possible to put them back into formation as they set up now in trail for a 3-ship barrel roll. Up they go, side of the barrel, maintaining 1 G all the way around. I don't know about you, but I still get goosebumps watching these guys. They will rejoin into their Vic formation. dreamed of flying all of his life, and he absorbed as much information as possible. And when the former team needed another pilot, they looked to Brian Reagan and his experience with the former Red Baron Stearman Squadron. And he became a member of the team. They offset the loop with a quarter roll to the right. As Danny was discussing earlier, the idea of formation flying is so important for the lead pilot to know the correct altitude, airspeed, and attitude to lead his wingman through each and every maneuver safely. The wingmen, they're married visually to spots. The aircraft are powered by the comes on. Let's watch from the right, the TITAN Aerobatic Team. Then Steve Gustafson, then Brian Reagan. Now it's follow the leader. Doesn't get much prettier than this, does it? Gorgeous. And the Titan team is here at Dayton. The barrel roll, we've seen it demonstrated. A very elegant and deceptively simple looking maneuver, with a goal of starting and stopping at the same altitude, heading and airspeed, and maintain 1G all the way through. Carve out the inside of the barrel. We're going to see another barrel roll, but this time I want you to keep your eyes on the landing gear. There's something about the landing gear on the North American Texan, the pilot maker, the SNJ, the AT6. The wheels were very close together, made it very difficult to handle on the ground. But this was the last airplane a cadet would see moving on to the fighters of the day, cargo aircraft of the day, or the bombers or the liaison aircraft of the day. And most
when they land the aircraft, the show is just beginning. So you watch Leader Jimmy Fordham coming in. He will land on the two main gear. He'll keep the tail up. He'll keep it off, the tail wheel off the runway. Keep forward speed up. Keep the tail up and forward visibility at its best. And also keep the speed up to allow number 2 and number 3 to land behind them without closing up the distance. That is the discipline of the landing. 2 of them on the ground. The third one coming in on low approach. Now, when we travel around the country, I like to call the Titan team the happiness boys. When they come to town, I tell you, they're great Southern gentlemen.
That's right, Southern gentlemen.
It's just a great fun because they always got a new batch of jokes, and they tell stuff on one another. You know, we ran a show in the clouds, and you can hear the thunder of the Titan Aerobatic Team. Smoke them if you got them. As they come out of the cockpit, Rob will introduce them. Give them a big wave because they cannot hear you.
Number 1 on the right, Jimmy Fordham. In the middle, number 2, Steve Gustafson. And on the left, number 3, Brian Reagan. They are the Titan Aerobatic Team. Come on, Dayton, make some noise for them.
Yeah, we feel the same way you do. All right, the action continues. They're going to taxi in Rob Holland, 12-time national aerobatic champion.